Therapy dog mauled to death by pocket bully in Darwen, England. Let's get into the story.
Welcome. You're here, I imagine, because you want to get a solid grip on what's important, really cut through the noise and understand the actual story. Today, we're diving into a really upsetting incident from Darwin. It's detailed in a news report about, well, the tragic loss of a therapy dog.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Our aim here, our mission for this deep dive is to pull out the key facts, understand the immediate fallout, and maybe look at the bigger questions this raises. About public safety, pet ownership responsibilities, all without getting bogged down.
Right. And at the absolute heart of this story is Benji. He was a Lhasa Apso, but much more than a pet, a therapy dog.
Okay.
And he was killed, mauled by an unleashed dog described as a pocket bully.
Oh.
The truly poignant part is Benji's owner, a young boy named Riley who is autistic. Benji was vital for him.
Just devastating. So let's walk through what happened. The location, this was very close to home for them, wasn't it? For
Yeah.
Karen Hawthorne-Thwaite and Benji.
Yeah, literally yards from her house in Darwen. They were just out for a walk. The report is quite specific about the proximity.
And this other dog, the pocket bully. The details are important here. No lid.
No lid, no muzzle. And according to Ms. Hawthorne-Thwaite, it actually charged across the road, heading straight for Benji.
Which explains her first thought. She apparently thought, that dog is going to get run over. Not that it was about to attack.
Exactly. The immediate danger seemed to be the traffic, not aggression. But then, obviously, it took that horrific turn.
So the report says the pocket bully lunged, went for Benji's leg.
Yes, specifically the leg. And the owner of the bully apparently couldn't get control. It wasn't just a quick bite either. The struggle, the attack, went on for 2 minutes.
2 minutes. God, that's an incredibly long time in that kind of scenario.
It must have felt like an eternity. And Ms. Hawthorne-Thwaite wasn't alone in trying to stop it.
Right. The report mentioned neighbors.
Yeah, neighbors rushed out. One even resorted to hitting the attacking dog, trying desperately to get it off Benji.
It really shows the severity, doesn't it? That people felt they had to physically intervene like that.
Absolutely. And the scene afterwards, well, Benji was covered in blood, clearly in shock. The pocket bully also had a bloodied face.
And as that's Hawthorne-Thwaite's description, she called it like something out of a horror movie. That really conveys the trauma.
It really does. And there's another layer of difficulty here. She couldn't immediately take Benji inside.
Because of Riley.
Yes, because of her son's sensitivity. She was worried about him seeing Benji in that state. It just highlights the complex situation even in that moment of crisis.
Which I suppose brings us directly to Benji's role in Riley's life. He wasn't just the family dog.
No, far from it. The report really emphasizes this. He was a trained therapy dog specifically for Riley and his autism.
Providing companionship, easing anxiety, that sort of thing.
Exactly. Especially crucial, apparently, during the COVID lockdowns. He was a real source of stability and comfort for Riley. A proper anchor.
So understanding that bond, that reliance, when we hear Benji died from his injuries, it's more than losing a pet, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's losing a vital support system. The report says Riley is, understandably, inconsolable. The impact is just immense.
It really underscores how important these animals can be.
Definitely. Losing a therapy animal disrupts so much routine's emotional security. It's profound.
Okay, so after this tragedy, what happened next? Legally speaking.
Well, the owner of the pocket bully agreed to sign something called an acceptable behavior contract. This falls under the Antisocial Behavior, Crime, and Policing Act from 2014.
An acceptable behavior contract, or ABC. What does that actually involve?
It's essentially a formal agreement to stop behaving antisocially. In this specific case, a key condition is that the dog must be kept on a lead at all times in residential areas.
Right, so some measure was taken. But how did Miss Hawthorne-Thwaite react to that?
She felt it wasn't nearly enough. The report states she believes the dog should be put down for public safety reasons.
Her fear being that it could happen again.
Precisely. Her quote is quite stark. This could have been a child, anyone. Next time, someone could be seriously hurt. She sees a continuing danger.
A very understandable fear. But the police, Lancashire police, they reviewed it.
They did. They consulted with experts, looked at the details, and concluded the incident didn't meet the legal requirements for prosecution under the Dangerous Dogs Act.
Ah, okay. So there's a specific legal bar there that wasn't met in their view.
Yes, the Dangerous Dogs Act is quite specific. Factors like breed, though, pocket bully isn't a legally defined banned breed, and proven past behavior often come into play. So while horrific, it didn't trigger that specific act legally.
But the owner did still get the acceptable behavior contract.
Correct. So no criminal prosecution under that particular act, but there was still a formal, legally binding consequence through the ABC.
Got it. So a legal outcome, but one that leaves Ms. Hawthornthwaite deeply concerned about the future.
Very much so. She's calling for stronger rules generally about controlling potentially dangerous dogs, particularly where people live.
She specifically mentioned the lack of a lead-in muzzle, didn't she?
Yeah, she said all dogs should be on leads, especially near busy roads. It's horrifying knowing what breed this dog was and that it was not muzzled. It just isn't right. That's her feeling.
And that fear is ongoing for her.
Palpably. She said, I don't know where this dog is now, but I'm terrified it will do it again. I just don't want anyone else to go through the pain I've been through.
You really feel the lasting impact there, the anxiety that remains when you feel something hasn't been fully resolved.
Absolutely. That sense of unresolved risk.
Okay, so let's pull the main threads together. We have this awful loss for Riley and his family. We have a legal outcome, the behavior contract, which the victim's mother feels is inadequate. And we have her strong plea for stricter rules about dog control in public.
Yeah, and stepping back, this whole incident forces you, doesn't it, to think about several things at once. There's the family's grief, obviously.
Right.
Then there's the whole issue of responsible pet ownership, especially with stronger breeds. And underpinning it all is how we, as a community, ensure everyone feels safe.
Which really brings us to a crucial point for you, the listener, to consider. How do we balance the rights of people to own pets with the need for public safety, especially with dogs known for their strength?
It's a really tough balancing act.
And maybe think beyond the obvious physical safety, too. What are the hidden impacts when someone loses an animal that provides vital therapeutic support, like Benji did for Riley?
Yeah.
There's just
Should
a
all
lot to
dogs
unpack there.
put on leash, particularly in residential areas? What's your thought on this? Comment it. Thanks.